0.9, yes. They're all sitting there dumbfounded going, oh, yeah. No, we listen to CD. Come up here, guys. Don't stand down there. That's all right. And what's your role, Emily?
Well, I do a lot of the announcements for Life FM, so all the CSAs, the community service announcements, I do a lot of those and a lot of the recordings as well.
Fantastic, great. So one of the voices we hear, or are you behind the scenes? One of the voices we hear? Awesome. And David?
Yeah, well, I'm also, I think I'm on.
Oh, you're on, yes.
I think I'm on. Yeah, well, I'm also one of the voices, but I'm the station manager, so organising, do the breakfast show as well, and help coordinate volunteers and come out with the outreach like with Emily, like we are this morning.
It's always nice to put faces to voices, isn't it, when we hear them. So we look forward to what you have to share with us this morning about the work of Life FM and whatever message God has put on your heart for us this morning. Great. Would you like this?
Yep. Thank you very much.
Feel free to move the left turn around as much as you like.
Morning everyone, how are you? This is my first time working with a projector, so we'll see how this goes. Is that on? No? Is that supposed to be working? That's all right. We could probably do it without it anyway.
Try now. Try again. Just tell us when to do it.
All right, we'll see how we go. Morning, everyone. I'm Emily Duncan. How are you guys? Good. I'm from Life FM, as you know. And I'm just going to talk to you a bit about how it all works and what we do. There we go. So who's ever heard of Life FM before? Just put your hand up. Awesome. So it is a local Christian community radio station in Gippsland, and it's been serving the community since 1999. And it's the only local not-for-profit Christian community radio station in the whole region. So it broadcasts 24/7 from Pakenham to Orbost, and our main studio is in Sale with an office in Moe. Next slide, please, guys. Yeah, so our vision is to deliver hope of a better life and future to every home in Gippsland, and we aim to do this through faith, family, partnership, community, and future. Life FM, it's not just for Christians. In fact, a survey showed that almost 1.89 million listeners per week across Australia tune in to Christian radio for just over 9 hours a week. So that includes people of other faiths or even no faith at all. We've updated our programming recently to appeal to all listeners and to capture the 38% of the population who aren't Christians. So it's not just for Christian people if you have a Christian faith already, although it's amazing for that, but it encompasses people of all other faiths as well. It's family friendly, and we train young volunteers in a lot of life skills and community service. I think next slide, please. Yeah, so we try to make a difference by reaching and connecting with the broader listening community, and we provide ways to support businesses and community groups. So we've got programs like Momentum for the guys, Easter programming, Christmas lights, God spots, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of we're producing our content now to make it more local. So we've got the Gippsland Perspective, which Dave runs, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. Next slide. Yep, next slide. Membership. So, our membership cost has reduced to just $10 a year. It used to be $30, but it's now $10. Who can tell me how much a cup of coffee it usually is these days? About $5? So that's about 2 coffees a year. We really need members. We really value our members. Life FM actually can't run without you guys. Something's happening out there. So to apply for community grants, we actually need a certain amount of members to prove that we're actually doing something. And I really believe in Life FM. I believe in the power that it has to change hearts and to change lives. We had one listener a while ago having to isolate during COVID, and she said to us that the music that we played on the radio was the one thing that really got her through. The station's sounding so amazing now. Ever since Dave got involved in the production, it's just been so life-filled and so inspirational for me. I tune into it on the regular when I'm driving to work or to Traralgon this morning. We put it on, and it's just amazing, just the impact that it can have. I can be having a really bad day, a really hard time, and I can switch on that radio and I can be sure that I'm listening to something that's so full of life and so inspirational. You know, we've got a couple of programs on there, like the God spots and the 60-second minute. Like, it's just incredible how God can start to speak to you, even just through that 2 minutes that you're listening to the radio. So we need money to run the station. How much does it cost, Dave, per month? Yeah, about 10 grand a month. 10 grand a month. And it can seem like a daunting prospect. It can seem like a lot of money. But when we get community involved, and if we get the church involved, we can actually meet that, and you guys can partner with us to make sure that we can still keep Life FM on the radio and on the air, because it's so important. We're the only Christian community radio out there right now. We're the only other option for people to listen to that they can rely on, that's going to be so life-filled and so family-friendly. You can chuck it on in the car and not have to worry if your kids are going to be hearing swear words or something else on the radio. Like, you can trust it. And so I really believe that it's something definitely worth investing in. We'll be out there after the service, signing. We've got some membership forms and things like that. Happy to have a chat to you all about it all and how amazing it is. So yeah, we didn't really get through the slideshow, but that's okay. I think I might hand it over to Dave now, but yeah, thanks for your time, guys.
There we go. Thanks, Em. Thanks for that. Yeah, I'll just build on what Em was saying too. So so Em's one of our great volunteers. We every once a month we get our team. We've got a bit of a team together recording some bits and bobs and CSAs and various things. We even had one yesterday morning. Had the team in yesterday, so we've got a few more things to add to the station over the week as well. So yeah, as I was saying, David Braithwaite. I'm the station manager at Life FM Gippsland. I've been there for about 20 months. I was, before that, I was a journalist at the Gippsland Times in Sale for about, about 17 years, I think it was. So that's what brought me to Sale. I actually grew up around Currumbara area, so I'm not a newbie to Gippsland. So I've been here for over, how long have I been in Gippsland? 35 years, I reckon. So I'm not a fly-by-nighter. So, yeah, just felt a bit of a calling after all that time at the paper. The opportunity came up because they said the station was having a bit of a revamp and a bit of a refreshing, and the opportunity came up. So, you know what? I think it's actually time to step away from the safety of a newspaper and to come in towards radio, to moving print to radio. It's different, but it's also similar. There's a lot of similarities in organising and editing and creating content. But yeah, after 17 years, it's interesting. After that, it wasn't long after the whole COVID thing. Funny enough, I started my first week at the station was in that last lockdown. I don't remember that 2021 towards the end. That was when I started at the radio station, and I'm sort of glad that it happened then, because for the last couple of years of my reporting, it was all lockdown related, COVID stuff. So it was very negative, weighing down. I can't imagine what people out there were thinking, reading all that stuff and hearing. They probably blocked it off. It was hard reporting on it. It was hard getting oh, here comes another lockdown. Oh, 7-day lockdown, which turned into 4 months, whatever it was. But so yeah, it was a very but it's good to be moving towards a more positive contribution to the community. So so as Emily said, Life FM is Gippsland's only Christian radio station serving Gippsland. So there are other stations that serve Gippsland, which are largely transponders or they're repeaters. So they're it's a national service, but it's on a weaker signal. But we're actually for Gippsland, based in Gippsland. So we're providing a voice for churches across Gippsland. So someone needs to reach the people of Gippsland with that life-changing message of Jesus. And so radio is an ideal medium for that, as Em alluded to. What are our kids listening to? What are our grandkids listening to? We want parents to be able to leave their kids alone with the radio on, with Life FM on, and not be bombarded with negative music, swearing, questionable content. So we're lucky. We're lucky that the church is represented strongly across Gippsland. I found over the past year or so, we've been visiting some churches and meeting up with church leaders, and we found there's a very strong church membership across the whole region, really. And there's some great church leaders, including here. I should add. So we have the ability to change society together. So we've seen, as I alluded to before, we've seen division, anger and hurt in recent years, but there's hope. It said in John 10:10, the thief comes to steal, kill and destroy, but Jesus came by that we may have life and have it abundantly. So we have that reason, we have that option to come out and actually present it out there and provide, there is a hope. We can be bombarded with all this stuff in the news, politicians saying stuff on social media, negative things, being divided up by who you are, where you were born, where you came from. But Jesus is that unifying message, and we can actually come together and provide that voice and get it out there into the region. So there's a reason why we're called Life FM. So we want to work with the church to bring new life across Gippsland. So our aim is to deliver that hope of a better life and future to every home in Gippsland. So yeah, we have heard people, including non-Christians, saying that Life FM has helped them through tough times, including the lockdowns and various other mental health and other even physical elements. Even this week, we got a letter in the mail from a person who was suffering severe mental issues and wasn't far away from ending it. But he heard a couple of songs on the radio a month or two ago, and just found something spoke to him. That there is actually a hope, there's a buoyancy, gave him a bit of buoyancy to his life. And and we've even heard people, another case, another person was seriously struggling, and they would turn on the radio, various radio stations, and would hear the same song. It was a very negative, I think something about the word devil or something was in the song. But every time they put it on a station, they'd hear that song. And they felt like something was being said to them. But then, last roll of the dice, they felt they put it on to 103.9 FM, Life FM, and this other and new songs came on, and all of a sudden she just felt a new sense of purpose, a new life, and it was uplifting. And now she says, if anyone dares touch her radio in the car, she's giving it a bit of a flick. Those sort of stories that we hear are encouraging. So we want to send out that message of hope across Gippsland. So we want to have They can hear a sense of purpose for their lives, and the music we play is buoyant, even if it is secular, as we call it. So that is very carefully picked, and that is ongoing as well. The odd song that somebody put in a year or so ago, then I hear it again and go, oh, that's not quite right. So we try and act on it pretty quickly. So I do say, if you do hear a song that's questionable on our station, by all means, send us a message and we'll look at it again. So we're always open to people having some feedback. So your Life FM was established in 1999, but we didn't begin broadcasting until 2003. So end of the year, we'll be celebrating 20 years on air. So it was established with a vision to resource, build up, and support the Christian community throughout Gippsland. So we've continued to evolve, and today we've expanded our vision to reach the broader community with our positive, uplifting, and family-friendly programs. So what a great way to take that message out to the people. People who don't necessarily have a come out to church on a Sunday morning, they'll go out there. They can actually hear that message. So people do say, I don't go to church, but I love Life FM. The music's different. You hear commercial radio stations sometimes has this, stuff about all sorts of negative stuff, bad stuff. But we want to provide an alternative to that, a positive alternative to that. So progress has been made to improve Life FM to appeal to Christians and non-Christians to provide a positive alternative for Gippsland Radio. We provide community news and information, inspiring and encouraging messages, as well as a mix of Christian and carefully selected non-Christian music. But yet, as we said before, it doesn't come cheap. It costs us $10,000 a month to run Life FM. So we don't rely on government grants. There are some sort of community media grants available and sponsorships and various donations, but without that increased financial support, we're in a point now we can only sustain our level of operation for about another 6 months, really, without that continued financial support. So if we're not there, and this is not I don't say this arrogantly, what will people listen to if Life FM isn't there? Like, if we had to reduce our level of broadcast, our level of service, we'd just be playing music all the time, but without necessarily having that messages or actual vocal content, audio content. So who will send out the uplifting and encouraging message of Jesus across Gippsland in a way designated or designed for Gippsland? So it's all well and good having all these different messages, but you want to hear radio stations that know where Traralgon is, that know where Warrigal is, know where Leongatha is, even Maffra, for instance. Not just a random person in Sydney or Melbourne providing content. So there is a gap in media options in this region. So commercial outlets have a primary aim to make money, and is the ABC catering for a cross-section of the community like it's supposed to? So there are agendas in the media. We all know that. I'm sure are they pure? Ask that. When you listen to things on the radio, read things on TV, or watch things on TV, are their motivations pure for getting that message across? Media is just one gateway for God to reach his people. So such as other gateways that are like education, business, politics, even the family unit. So when you have the right people at the gateways, God can impact people. It says in Psalm 24:7, lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. So we have authority as sons and daughters of God, and if we don't use this authority, people will suffer. So what about our kids? What are they getting? What about our loved ones? What about our friends that aren't saved? So we need to use this authority responsibly and humbly and with honour for other people. So it's not just like, I'm a son of God, you shall do what I say. It's actually a caring thing, stepping out and going, look, I really care for you. So they're also enemy. So these gateways are also the areas the enemy, for want of a better term, can get to people. Radio isn't just something you have on in the background. It helps create an atmosphere. Words can be uplifting, but they could also drag people down. How many times have you said something little negative comment about someone? I'm the first person to admit that. But words have power to it. So that's why we have encouraging messages, ranging from those 60-second God spots and then to longer form programs later in the day or over the weekend. So songs can have meaning. Are there songs which you can connect to in a moment in time? So I know after I became a Christian, I found myself switching off some songs I had loved beforehand because they just didn't sit well with me. So there's certain songs, like every song has some sort of frequency to it. Like, yeah, positive, they could be a positive, a loving song, or it could be a negative, inflicting harm on somebody, or negative spirits to it. So it's not just the word and the Spirit of God we're trying to impact across Gippsland through Life FM. So we are Christian, but we're also part of the Gippsland community. So we are officially a Christian community radio station. So it's vital that Gippsland people can hear Gippsland voices and stories. I know that's part of what I do on Gippsland Perspective. I do some news updates, try to every day, but usually 3 to 5 days a week. There's usually some news updates, even sports updates now and weather updates. I try to keep it, relevant to the listeners out there. Because it's a big area. We need people to sort of, we need to have people aware of what's going on and actually be aware of some. So we're always after positive stories. If there's a good story around that you think might be a good interview, even our churches, we're happy to sort of, if you want to get in contact with us, we always have a chat to that person or whatever you're doing. We're happy to promote that story across Gippsland. So we need those. So because we do need that help, both financially and also even with content-wise. We need churches and Christians to partner with us. So it says in funny you said Nehemiah. It says Nehemiah 2, having how it's talked about building the wall. Israel was a wreck. The gates are burned up. So it said, "Come, let us build a wall of Jerusalem and not live by this disgrace any longer." I told them how God was supporting me and how the king was backing me up. And they said, "We're with you. Let's get started." And they rolled up their sleeves, ready for the good work. So it took a company of people partnering together with a sword in one hand and a tool or whatever they had in the other. So our mission is to reach every home in Gippsland, and it requires people to partner together with us and share resources. It's not just about Life FM preaching, it's a two-way thing. So we're an extension of what the church is doing to reach the community and get that message out there. So there is strength in numbers. And one thing I've seen I've always seen there is unity across Gippsland, unlike other regions in Victoria. Like when you think about it, Gippsland's about a quarter of the state, and there's such a big connection between what's happening here and people interested in what's happening in Sale, people interested in what's happening here, or even Warragul or whatever. There seems to be things. All the roads seem to lead different into this part of the world. So Life FM is something that goes across the region and has the ability to unify churches, to send a strong message of hope. So Life FM is not a station for the Catholics, the Christians, the Pentecostals, or even the Baptists. It's something for it's for everyone. It's coming together, which I think we've all got a common cause of Jesus. We're all got that common cause, and we can actually work together and actually get it out there. So churches that do support us, we do like acknowledging churches that support us on air as well. And I think we have listed Traralgon Baptists on our, we do. So we do greatly appreciate that help. So as I said, we're an extension of what the churches across Gippsland are doing. We're not a replacement for going to church on a Sunday. So we do encourage people to go to church on a Sunday or whatever whenever you go. So on air and on our website, we promote our church partners. And even if you've been touched by God while listening to Life FM, we direct you to that list of church partners to go to. There's churches all over the region. Nearly every population centre across Gippsland, there's at least one church that's been actively supporting us over the years. We've also got we've recently launched the Life FM Care Line. So 4159 7040. It's a phone service, so it's for people who are struggling, and they can be referred to very appropriate service. Can even have some prayer. There's trained volunteers that can pray for you, and even just have someone to talk to, really. So I think it's 9 to 11 every day, 7 days a week. That phone service is available. And in those ways that people can help us, he said $10 per person. Said that we have reduced that membership fee greatly, and we do encourage people who had been members for more than more than $10. They can make up the difference and donate to us as well. So we encourage those we encourage you all, if you haven't already, to become a member and donate. So donations of $2, at least $2 and over, are tax deductible. So yeah, get the government to help us out. That's a good way for the government to help us out. And so yeah, we're in the process of reapplying for our community broadcasting licence. So yeah, as Emily said, membership numbers are a direct consideration when applications are being looked at. So we do promote, and other ways we help the community. Yeah, so we promote community events, free to wear as well, free of charge on our station. So if you've got any events happening, please let us know. We'd love to help out. And so we consider broadcasting messages and programming provided by churches across the region. So there's particular messages that are really good. You might think the broader community might listen to. Yeah, we're happy to consider it and send it our way. We welcome people. Another way people can help out is volunteering. So we welcome people to volunteer with our either on-air content, even going out and seeking sponsors or advertisers, and even administrative work. So yeah, you can chat to Emily and myself out the side in the foyer there after the service. Happy to chat to you. As I said, appealing. So we're always open for businesses to support us. So there are sponsorships available. So we technically can't use advertising, but it's sponsorships, effectively the same thing. So we have sponsorships available for businesses, and even some churches have taken out some advertising sponsorship packages on air as well. So yeah, there are various packages, suit all your needs, various lengths, various frequencies on air. So to donate, yeah, to donate or become a member, come and chat to us, or you can go to our website anytime, lifefm.com.au. So you can click on donate. On the left-hand side of the page, there's a little link called donate. And for membership, there's a similar one as well. And there's thanks again. So yeah, we're more than happy to chat about even just Life FM general. If you've got any comments or indifferent, good, bad, or indifferent, happy to chat to you afterwards. And yeah, it's been a real pleasure to be here this morning. And yeah, of course, wish all the mothers out there and a very happy Mother's Day. And yeah, thanks for your time this morning. It's been great. Thank you.